Hi, this is Holly with Presence Point, and as you can tell, I'm sitting here in the middle of a bit of a construction project. This is a little mudroom in our home that we're hoping to be turned into a laundry room soon. You can tell that drywall's been pulled off behind me, and there's a bunch of wiring going everywhere in the wall, and some insulation is going to have some work done on it tomorrow. But as we finished day 3 of this project with the guys that are working here, my husband and I looked at each other and just said, man, we are so grateful for these men. They are honest and trustworthy, and they just feel tried and true to us. I feel like I can leave my home when they're here and never worry about a thing. I feel like I could look at an invoice they give me and know it's honest. And that is such a gift. And then I thought, as we finished that conversation, about 2 Kings 12, where King Joash repairs the temple. He becomes king about 800 years before Jesus is born. He's about 6 or 7 years old when that happens. And in the process, he's being mentored by the priest, and he realizes the temple is in disrepair and needs fixed. He then asked the priest to collect the money from a certain amount of offerings and to use it for the temple repair. Well, in the 23rd year of his reign, that still hadn't happened. So King Joash called for the high priest and said, no more will you do this. No more will this money be used for you. This will be used for the temple repairs. Therefore, I'm going to have somebody else take care of it. It's interesting when we get to about verse 11 in chapter 12. This is what happens. Then they gave the money to the construction supervisors, who used it to pay the people working on the Lord's temple, the carpenters, the builders, the masons, and the stonecutters. They also used the money to buy the timber and the finished stone needed for repairing the Lord's temple, and they paid any other expenses related to the temple's restoration. The money brought to the temple was not used for making silver bowls, lamp snuffers, basins, trumpets, or other articles of gold or silver for the temple of the Lord. It was paid to the workmen who used it for the temple repairs. No accounting of this money was required from the construction supervisors because they were honest and trustworthy men. I thought, man, that reminded me of the guys we have working here. And I thought how grateful King Joash was for those guys and how grateful we are for our workers even in the next few days coming up ahead of us. So I decided to look up honest and trustworthy. I love this definition of honest. Honorable in principles, intentions, and actions, upright and fair, genuine, sincere, respectable. Trustworthy, worthy of confidence, dependable, reliable, responsible, safe, secure, solid, sure, steady, tried and true. And when I heard that, I thought, wow, isn't that what every shepherd should be? Isn't that what everybody who's in charge of money or of property, whoever's a steward and a servant of the people of God, shouldn't they be that way? And by that I mean anybody in a supervisory capacity, not just people in the church. Anyone who's a believer who follows the Lord's instruction should be tried and true and honest and trustworthy. So I want to leave you with this thought today. Would people say that you're honest and trustworthy? Would they say that you are steady and sure and dependable, honorable in your principles, and tried and true in your practices? So my hope is that people would say of you what I pray they'd say of me, and what we're saying of the workmen that are in our home in the next few weeks, that these are guys we can fully trust. So as you live into your calling in the next week, think about the actions you take, think about the decisions you make, think about how people would describe you. Would you fall into those construction supervisors that worked for King Joash repairing the temple, or wouldn't you? So bless you all. Thanks for listening, and may you each live into your calling in the days ahead. Thanks so much for joining us.